Okay. Can you tell me what the design limitations are for VMO below 10,000 feet? For below 10,000?
Load of the aircraft?
The VMO.
VMO, 320.
320? And so there's no way you could fly 500 knots below 10,000 feet?
No, not indicated, no.
Not indicated.
There's a ground speed up tail when you could.
Right. Because then you don't have the drag on the wings, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So what would happen if you tried to fly 500 knots indicated?
I'm not sure. I've never done it before.
What? You don't want to try? All right, cool, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
So what are your credentials? You just went through a flight school program, or you have an aeronautics degree?
Actually, I did my training right here at Ellington Field.
Really?
I'm a native Houstonian. Went to San Jacinto College in Pasadena. Got a 2-year aviation degree. And while I was there, I became a dispatcher, and that got me into Expressjet Airlines as a dispatcher.
Now, when you say you had an aviation degree, is that aeronautics or?
Well, it's called the pilot program.
Right.
And so I get a degree in aeronautical technology.
Okay, and
The
that's
career path is the pilot pathway.
and you have a BA in aeronautics?
I had a BA prior to doing a career change.
Oh, okay.
In marketing.
Okay.
But from San Jacinto College, I got the associate's degree.
And what kind of aircraft do you fly?
I fly an Embraer 145.
I know one of those.
Yeah, it's a 50-seater Embraer.
What are the do you know what the flight limitations are? Design VMO, like for below 10,000 feet?
For VMO, below 10,000 feet is 250.
250 knots.
Yeah.
And what would happen if you tried to exceed 500 knots?
Well, I guess I would be a test pilot then. Then I would find out.
You're expanding the limits.
And I'm not a test pilot.
Yeah, we have a friend that thinks that you can go, that it's just the manufacturer's suggestion. Yeah, because he's going to flight school. I'm like, no.
Well, the way I look at it is, if the manufacturer gives me a limit,
You should stick to that.
I should stick to that limit.
Just like you're not going to take a school bus into the Indy 500.
No. Well, you can say to yourself that limit has a safety margin built in.
Right. Obviously, if you exceed it by a few knots, you're not going to have the wings come
But
off.
by how much?
But if you try to double it or exceed it by 100 knots, you're going to destroy the plane.
Well, the point I'm making is that I don't know what the real number is beyond what the manufacturer's giving.
Right.
So I'm going to assume that manufacturer limit is the real
For a
limit.
reason.
Yeah, and I'm just not going to exceed.
Okay. Can I get your name too? I'm sorry, I forgot to ask that.
Hi, I'm Troy Butler.
Troy Butler. Thank you very much for your time, Troy.
Well, you're welcome, man. What's your name?
My name's David.
David. Nice to meet you. Kurt. Pleasure to talk to you, Kurt. Yeah.
All right. You guys have a good time.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Got it.
The key to being a safe pilot is not trying to be a test pilot and following. Aviation is inherently dangerous, risky, but you can control the dangers and the risks by flying safely. And part of that is flying by the manufacturer's suggested safety limits.
Sounds like a white caution.
And I've been flying for 15 years now, almost 16, and never had an accident or incident
Nice.
because I've taken those safety requirements or safety limitations to heart, flown by them and not flown over them.
Yeah, there's a reason for it.
Yeah, there is. So if he wants to be a pilot, gosh, stress that to him. Yeah, no hot dogging. People get killed hot dogging.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very. The risks are very manageable if you stay within the boundaries that have been given to you. They really are.
Awesome.
It's it's one of the safest ways to travel that mankind's ever invented.
Safer than driving.
It's safer than driving. Yeah. You don't think twice about getting in a car. But aviation is even safer because pilots have that safety first mentality. The good pilots do.
Yeah.
The ones that are still alive.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Butler, thanks.
Thank you guys. Nice talking to you.
I haven't played this.
Okay, can I get your name?
Lieutenant Rowe, 323rd Bomb Squadron.
Okay, and you fly the B-52?
Yes, sir. I'm a co-pilot.
You're a co-pilot. Do you have a degree in aeronautics or
I have
engineering?
an aviation sciences degree from
From
Baylor.
Baylor? Okay. Can you tell me what the design limitations are for VMO for this model, below 10,000 feet?
I cannot.
Okay, what would be your max velocity below 10,000?
Airspeed limiting about 390.
390?
We go, we do a little bit of low level still. We train a little bit. Everybody sees the old days from the SAC days. They think of the old low level, the terrain avoidance, and all that kind of stuff. But right now, it's not like it used to be. We still train low level, but
Right.
we're anywhere from high 300s.
What would happen if you tried to exceed 500 knots below 10,000 feet?
That would be bad.
It would be bad?
You'd be exceeding structural limitations.
And basically the wings would come off, the engine nacelles would break off.
He's basically beyond the designs of what Boeing created.
Right.
If you exceed that, you become an unpaid test pilot for Boeing.
Very nice.
So,
Very nice.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay, cool. That's right on. I thank you for your time. I appreciate that. Awesome. Your credentials and your name?
My credentials on my name.
Your credentials and your name.
Oh, my name's Tim Aubrick. I'm a pilot in the Air Force.
And what kind of training did you have? Do you have a degree in aeronautics or anything?
I have a degree in aviation science.
Okay. Can you tell me what the design limitations are for VMO below 10,000 feet for this B-52?
VMO. Oh, so we're only limited by 390 knots.
390 knots?
Or 0.84 indicated mile.
0.8. Okay. What is parasitic drag?
It's drag from induced drag from like antennas and stuff.
Or engine
That's
nacelles?
not induced drag, but it's a drag from structures in the airstream.
So like an engine nacelle,
Engine nacelle, antennas,
vertical stabilizers.
yeah, anything. Yeah.
Okay. What are the reasons behind VMO?
VMO. So that's,
Velocity max operating?
so that would be just like structural max for like either the intakes or for like the windshield or something like that.
Right. Okay. So what about these engines? How much thrust do they produce?
It's D-rated to 17,000 pounds per motor.
And there's 8 of them.
Yes.
Okay. And so how much thrust do you require to reach your cruising speed?
It depends on your weight.
Okay. So what are the 4 forces? Lift, drag, thrust, and weight?
Yes.
They're all dependent?
Well, yeah. So the airplane weight varies so much. You could overspeed the airplane with 2 motors.
Right.
If you were very, very light.
Right.
Or you may need all 8 motors to speed.
So you really the only reason you need 8 motors is so you can get down the runway and get in the air.
That's part of it, but also is engine technology back in 1953
Right.
was not as advanced or as reliable as engine technology in 1990.
Like this, you fly this particular plane,
Yes.
and it's older than you are.
Much older.
That's pretty amazing. But there's no structural limitation for airspeed.
You're structurally limitation by just going supersonic. If you would go supersonic, you would just start to bump into the tail and damage the tail.
Right.
But you generally don't have enough thrust to get through the sound barrier.
You don't even have the thrust enough to get to those speeds.
Yeah, you can do it like in the dive or whatever, but you're going to damage the structure of the tail.
Okay. That's awesome. And your name again?
Tim?
Tim?
Yes?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, there. Can you tell me your name and your credentials?
Oh, no, I can't do it.
You can't do that?
On video?
Yeah, why not?
No, I'm not going to do that on video.
Can you tell me about the design limitations?
do that.
Why not?
What's the 433rd? Local 433rd.
Oh, no,
No, I can't do that.
Can you tell me about the plane?
No, not on video.
Why not?
That's not my place. I'm not public relations. Yeah.
Well, see, while you're here with the public, that's public relations, isn't it?
Not this official capacity, no.
No?
I fly it. I fly it. Does a lot of cool stuff.
Does it fly over 500 knots below 10,000 feet? How come?
You can't do that.
Is it because of thrust? Is it because of drag?